Hi everyone, I'm Sunny, and today's pick a card is a celebrity crush reading. It's more or less like a yes or no type of reading. And I have three piles you guys can choose from left to right. I have pile 1, 2, and 3. It's more or less whether you and your celebrity crush are going to have drama. So there's 2 cards for each pile, by the way, before you skip to the timestamp. And if there's 2 uprights, it's a yes, 2 reversed is a no, and if it's mixed, it's a maybe. So I will start now with the first one. So think about your celebrity crush, pile number 1. Oops. And you guys have the Queen of Swords reversed. And then the next card is the King of Pentacles upright. So this is a maybe for you guys. You guys might have drama. It really does depend. Maybe it depends on the day and the mood and like how you guys are feeling that day. But if you guys were to be like interacting with each other a little bit more, like let's say more on the daily than like something that's passing, because it is King of Pentacles and the Sword card is reversed, so it feels like it's something that maybe like this connection either formed for like a long time, like a friendship or something, or like you guys end up working together and it's for like an extended period of time. Like you guys might have known each other for a while enough to have drama, right? It's not something that just, it's a stir of the moment kind of thing. When it comes to you guys, I think you guys might, one, bite your tongue because they're your celebrity crush and you might not want to upset them, or if you do upset them and annoy them and you're more confrontational and stuff, you might not really tell them what you're really after. Like you're not going to tell them what really is upsetting you. They're going to kind of, maybe it's because of the way they speak or maybe how they are. It does feel like this person's a little bit more dry, whether this is a female or a male that you're thinking about. They're more dry in their responses, and they're sorry, they're more focused on their coin. So making I think basically they're just building themselves up to actually form something that can withstand the how does it go? Withstand the time or something. But basically, they're in workaholic mood, and maybe that can annoy you because you're a little bit. You might. It's not just saying that you're not flexible, but from time to time you can be. But you're trying to actually get to know them and communicate with them, but they're just like all business. They're really all business, and maybe that might be drama for you both, where it's like you guys don't have the same not ideals, but the same goals, right? So you guys don't have the same goals when it comes to like, you know, your journey in life. So that might cause some drama. I think that maybe gossip could be like, from what I'm reading, it's like it feels like maybe like self-sabotaging tendencies. Like maybe you might accidentally say something that you didn't know upset them, and that might cause a stir because it's like, oh, you're just wanting to stir, like cause gossip or something, and you want to sell that information. Like they might misinterpret that, and you're like, no, I'm just trying to like maybe because you could be awkward and you're not very good with your words, it can be self-sabotaging, right? So it can be like that, or you can also be like, your communication can also read as passive aggressive, whether it's intentional or not. That's how they see it. Maybe because you're more inexperienced in having longer conversations, because most of the time the kind of conversations you end up having is very transactional. So it's like, example, you go to the grocery store and you're just like, oh, here's like, this is how much you owe, and you pay them, and like, oh, can I pay like this? Like it feels very much like that. You're not someone that has had many successful possibly connections when it comes to having meaningful conversations with people, because your day-to-day is a little bit more hectic, or it's more filled with responsibilities that you don't have time to actually like form that emotional bond, right? So when you try to, it might not go well. It's not well received possibly, and that more or less could be some people that cause, not that cause the drama, but when you think about the specific person in your mind, be realistic. Are they someone that is open-minded, or they're just not like in dramas often? Like you have to consider, is your celebrity crush someone who can be trusted, right? So if they are, this scenario wouldn't apply to you. That's just a maybe, because this is still a maybe for some people. So these are for the people that kind of feel like they would have some drama with their celebrity crush, right? It could also be mismanagement of money and just arguments of like who didn't, not that they didn't get paid well, but like it just feels like there's mismanagement of money and like money sources and stuff like that, where it could have been saved, like, or it could have been dispersed. There you go, dispersed a lot better, efficiently, for less work, you know. So it could be stuff like that, but it does feel overall that this is for the people that side more with the yes. With the people that side more with the no side, I do think that your celebrity crush might also avoid being in like tabloids and stuff like that, so they might not make big deals out of something that they can be worked in privately. So they might just choose to go the higher ground. They might not hold that sword at you, but that doesn't mean they can't swing it people when it's necessary, you know. So it does feel like for this pile, they are trying their best to, you know, work with the energies that they're given. I'm sorry for my voice is crying. So they're trying their best to work with the energies they're given, but I do feel for this pile, they are, if they're choosing the higher ground, they still have, they're very, how can I say, not stubborn, but they're very, like, serious. There's a seriousness to them. So maybe that's why you're like, no, this, like, the yes doesn't apply to me, but you can kind of feel that they can, if they choose to, they could, you know, cut you down with their sword, metaphorically speaking. But yeah, they do feel like someone that's mature for those people that chose the no. So that's why it's kind of a mixed bag in here. For pile number one, choose what resonates, leave what doesn't. Not every single message here is going to apply. So next, I have pile number two. Okay, so pile number two, you guys have the World upright and the Page of Cups upright. So this is a yes. And I don't think this is a positive yes, but, well, it depends, because for this pile, you would have drama with your celebrity crush, but I think it's like fun bantering. I don't know why I want to say it like it, yes, but no. It feels like friendly competition, or it feels like you have this like tit for tat with the World and the Page of Cups. It's very playful. So I think that misunderstandings between possibly cultures, misunderstanding between the way you guys live and think differently and how you guys are raised differently, like how your work ethics are different, can be like one of those like, well, that's not the way to go. You guys can do this like my way. So it can feel like that. The Page of Cups, it feels like it's like youthful, friendlier energy, more creative energy. So maybe like you guys can work in creative fields and you guys can kind of like have like this competitive streak to you, because it's like, I know it's a cup card, but it just feels like you guys, I can't think of a specific duel that's like in the celebrity world where they have this like frenemy kind of thing, but it's more like friends more than anything, because they are just playful like that. So I can't think of a specific person or people, but maybe you can. But yeah, I do think that you guys might have that drama, but it's like, I think you guys would purposely go to like your gossipy websites and like dish stuff about each other, but purposely dish stuff about each other. So that creates more like spur of the moment kind of gossip or like attention to you guys. Maybe because you want to sell like your own creative products and lines and stuff. But yeah, I do think that you guys are like that, where it's like you guys are playful and stuff, but it does feel youthful. So maybe you are thinking about someone that is younger compared to you, or like younger in personality, like they have a youthful personality, very fun, cheeky personality. I do think there's someone that pours their heart into their work. So maybe you might relate to that because you see yourself really invest yourself a lot in your creative projects, and they make you feel good. I think you guys have this way of like self-soothing when it comes to your outlets. So maybe that's why you're like, I wonder if we would clash because we have so much in common, but sometimes too much sometimes when it comes to people, when you have too much in common with somebody, it can be annoying. Or it can be something that you clash because you might just not switch things, but like you might go about it different ways to get maybe the same result or go through a different type of result because you guys just have so much not in common, but like you have so much to consider when it comes to your outlets. So I do think that maybe that's why you're like iffy, but this is a strong positive yes for you guys. I do think you guys would, like in a good way, by the way. It doesn't feel like it's a toxic kind of way. With the World card, I think you guys would be masters at your craft. I think you guys are very knowledgeable of what you're doing. So I just wonder, like, this frenemy kind of like vibe, like not frenemy. It's just, it feels like it's a healthy banter, healthy drama. I don't know why, it's just, it feels fun though. It feels like you guys are having fun with the narrative because you both spin it to your advantage, or you spin it the way you want it to because you know what the crowd wants, so you give it to them. But you're giving it to them the way you allow them to see it because you know you are someone that takes control, and so does this person. Even though maybe it's still page energy, it still feels like even though it's green, it does have direction. It has a sense of creativity of how you guys can become more popular even at that. So it does feel like that. It feels like very cheeky, very fun. Like you guys are having fun in the spotlight, or you're having fun creating the drama, right? Because maybe you want to create memes or something and you're like, ha ha ha, pop culture moment kind of thing. So that's what it feels like with this one. So thank you, pal number 2. Remember that not everything will resonate, just some things might resonate. And if it doesn't, pick another pal. So last but not least, pal number 3. Pal number 3, you guys have the 5 of Swords upright. And then the last card you guys have is the Page of Swords reverse. So would you have drama with your specific celebrity crush? For this pile, this is a maybe. Some might side more with a yes, some might side more with the, I can't say it. Some might side more with the no. There. Why was that so hard? Overall, for this pile, I feel that the people who side with a yes, like, yes, you would have drama with this person, with your celebrity crush. It might be because you guys argue a lot or you fight a lot about petty things. It really is like with this sword energy, it does feel like it has a lot to do with like verbal disagreements or like just petty things that you guys do, like just to kind of get in each other's ways to like slow the other person down, and that might be very irritating because it's like it feels like a stop and go kind of energy. It's like really fast and then really slow because it is like it is an up and upright and a reversal with the same element. So it feels to me that you guys maybe just try to like maybe some people might feel like they want to get not want to get sabotaged, but they get the vibe that this person's trying to sabotage your work because they might think you're good at something, and it is it is a competitive field for what they're doing. So maybe you guys are interested in the same things. Like maybe example, you guys can be writing or drawing or painting, and you're like hiding utensils or something to basically stall them for a bit so you can finish your piece first, or you turn off the light or something, or the electricity, so this person has issues like connecting to their electronic devices, for example. If it's like the internet, you disconnect the internet, stuff like it feels like that, where it's like little petty things, but more so it has to do with one, communication in regards to your hands, things that you do with your hands, or from the mouth, where it's like you're talking and like maybe it's like imagine like a political campaign, like having opposing sides and like trying to like discredit the other person. It feels like that, where it's like you really try to kind of dissect the other person's like words so that it can be turned around and like taken out of context, or you're trying to manipulate situations to your advantage, and it could be vice versa. So it's like you guys are trying to be like cunning with each other, but outsmart the other person in their own game. Or it could be, it just feels like you guys have maybe even if it's not like that kind of stuff, you guys can like you just imagine like public speakers or someone who's like advertising. It just feels like very Gemini kind of energy, or very Virgo too at that, just mercurial, where it's like, how can I get this person like out of my field, because there's so much competition, because you guys see each other's potentials, and you guys kind of might get scared that they might get ahead of something. So maybe that's why your celebrity crush might want to start drama with you. If you feel that it's more on the yes side, it's because they are intimidated by what you bring to the table, because you could possibly be long-term competition, or you might outgrow them in some way, so they feel like they have to fight you all the time. And if it's more for the no, if you feel that this isn't so much like you kind of already know how your celebrity crush is in regards to how they feel they are with drama and stuff like that. If it's more on the no, it feels like maybe they know how to walk away from conversations that are not favorable, because I do think that maybe they don't always say the smartest things when it comes to themselves, or maybe they put their foot in their mouth. When stuff like that happens, because that's going to come back to bite them, they know how to retrieve themselves and just take it like I did it. I said this thing. It was like I accidentally sent something on Twitter or something like I shouldn't have, or I like triggered this demographic or stuff like that, and they're like, I apologize, I'll do take responsibility for that, but I won't fight you for that. It feels like they know how to take accountability to some extent, but it's more so, it feels like they take it because they were called up, like they were called out. There you go. And it'll affect them very much with their contracts, for example. So they try to stay. It feels more like Libra energy for the no. They try to appease the masses by doing what they are being told to do, even though they might not agree with that. They internally feel very differently and like want to say stuff differently, but they know that if they open their mouth, it might not come out the best way, or directly the most healthiest possibly. So it could be something that they have to work through when it comes to their words. Their communication is not their strong forte when it comes to the public. Very different when it comes to songwriting, for example, or creating music. That can be healthy, but when it comes to their words, maybe they might have a Mercury retrograde, or they might have that as a transit. But it does feel like overall for this pile, if you're leaning on the no, there's someone that knows to walk away from competition or arguments when they get like bombarded with them, because they don't know how to address it in a healthy manner, or they just don't know how to be like confrontational and upfront. They feel very intimidated. They don't feel like they're the best at it, or they're simply someone that is mature but just chooses to take the high road. But they don't necessarily, not that they don't have a backbone, but for some reason sometimes this energy kind of gives me that. So it's like they're just trying to appease the masses, just to calm them down. But yeah, I do think their communication is not always ideal. That's why this is probably a maybe for some people. So choose only what resonates, leave what doesn't. Take the yes, take the no, but take the message, right? So thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. It wasn't as like juicy as I thought it was gonna be, but oh well, it's still fine. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day. So bye bye, everybody.